You know, humanity has always been obsessed with the idea of lost worlds, right? These incredible civilizations that just vanished. But there is one story that has captured our imagination more than any other, the legend of Atlantis. So let's just dive right into this epic mystery.
The entire legend pretty much starts with this one single chilling line from the Greek philosopher Plato. He wrote that, quote, "In a single day and night of misfortune, the island of Atlantis disappeared into the depths of the sea." Just think about that. He described this perfect paradise, a technological marvel that was literally swallowed by the ocean, a perfect world gone forever.
And that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Was Plato just telling a good story, a fable, or was he tapping into some faint, ancient memory of a real-life catastrophe? In this explainer, we're going to follow the clues and see where they take us.
Okay, so first things first. If we're going to search for Atlantis, we kind of need to know what we're looking for. So let's start with Plato's original description of this incredible lost world. So here's the picture Plato painted for us. Atlantis was this huge empire way out beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. The people there were masters of the sea, they had incredible wealth, and they were technologically advanced. But the wildest claim? Its age. Plato said it existed 9,000 years before his own time, which would put it way back in the Ice Age. And then, just like that, it was all gone, in a single day.
Now, I know what you're thinking. A whole city sinking into the ocean overnight? It sounds like pure fiction, something from a movie. But what if I told you we have stone-cold proof that it can and did happen?
Get this. Back in 1967, a scientist named Nicholas Fleming was diving off the coast of Greece. He saw something strange on the seafloor, perfectly straight lines. Now, you know as well as I do, nature doesn't really build in straight lines. So he started clearing away the silt, and what he found weren't rocks, but man-made walls, streets, even tombs. An entire city perfectly preserved right there under the waves.
And here is the crucial clue: the age of this place. Pavlopetri wasn't just some old town. It's nearly 5,000 years old. This discovery was a total game changer. It proved that complex, ancient cities could be suddenly and violently submerged, exactly like Plato described. Suddenly, the story of Atlantis seemed a whole lot more plausible.
So, if a real civilization could have inspired this legend, who's the leading candidate? Well, for most historians and archaeologists, all the evidence points to one very specific place.
Let me introduce you to the Minoans. These guys were a Bronze Age powerhouse, one of the first truly great European civilizations. They dominated the Aegean Sea. We're talking master sailors, brilliant artists, and just incredible engineers. And as we're about to see, their story has some seriously uncanny resemblances to the legend of Atlantis.
Okay, this is where the theory gets really interesting. This is where we compare the specific details. We've found what you could call 3 distinct architectural fingerprints that connect Plato's description of Atlantis directly to the ruins of the Minoan civilization. Let's dig into the first one.
First up, the city's layout. Plato describes the capital of Atlantis as this amazing feat of engineering, built as a series of concentric rings, alternating circles of land and water. A very unique design. Well, guess what? Geologists have confirmed that the Minoan island of Thera, which you probably know as the crescent-shaped island of Santorini, was once a single, circular island, with a huge sea-filled lagoon right in the center. I mean, come on, that's a perfect match.
Fingerprint number 2, the building materials. Plato gave this one remarkably specific detail. He said the Atlanteans quarried red, black, and white stones from their island to build their city. So what did archaeologists find when they excavated the Minoan ruins on Thera? They found buildings constructed from the exact same red, black, and white volcanic rocks that are native to the island. That's not just a coincidence, that's another direct hit.
And the third fingerprint is all about their power. Plato's Atlantis was what's known as the Thalassocracy, a great naval empire. He even describes a massive canal that let huge ships sail right into the city's center. Well, archaeology confirms that the Minoans were the world's first great sea power. Their trade network stretched all the way from Egypt to Mesopotamia. It's a perfect cultural fit.
So we've got the city, we've got the stones, and we've got the sea power. The resemblance is just uncanny. But what about that final tragic piece of the puzzle? The destruction in a single day and night? Well, the answer lies in one of the most violent events in all of human history.
Around 1600 BCE, the volcano at the heart of Thera exploded. And I mean it exploded, one of the largest eruptions ever. It triggered violent earthquakes, it caused the entire center of the island to collapse into the sea, and it unleashed a colossal tsunami that wiped out coastal cities all across the Minoan Empire. It was, quite literally, the end of their world, a powerful civilization crippled in a single day and night of misfortune. Sound familiar?
The evidence is overwhelming. The layout, the materials, the naval power, and the cataclysmic end, it all points directly to the Minoan civilization on Thera. So you have to ask yourself, why did Plato call it Atlantis? And why did he get the timeline so wrong? Because he wasn't trying to write a history lesson.
You have to remember, Plato is a philosopher, and he was using the half-remembered story of this real-life disaster to send a powerful warning to his own society and, it turns out, to all future generations.
See, back when Plato was writing, his own city of Athens was becoming pretty arrogant and expansionist. He saw the same kind of greed and hubris that, according to the legend, had corrupted the Atlanteans. So he took the true story of the Minoan collapse and he crafted it into an allegory, a cautionary tale. And the lesson is timeless. When a society gets consumed by power and greed, when it thinks it can conquer anything, it invites its own destruction. Atlantis wasn't just a place, it was a warning.
So, the story of Atlantis is almost certainly the story of the Minoans, a real history transformed into a timeless myth. But it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Our oceans are still so vast and so unexplored. It leaves us with one final, fascinating question. If the memory of the Minoans could become Atlantis, what other legends, what other lost worlds are still waiting out there to be discovered beneath the waves?